ॐ ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। ओम जन्माद्यस्य तोन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिं मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो अमृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमहं प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं ओम समस्त देवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणाचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णुवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहामुनिये नमः। शौनकादृशिभ्यो अत्र्यादृशिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो नमः। श्री दक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय ग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्रीमत्स्यादि अवतारेभ्यो नमः। दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती स्वरूपिण्ये नमः। आदिवराशक्त्यै नमः। ओम माता पितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। आद्य शंकराचार्यवर्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वान्यथा रूपम स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ एकोनविंशोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच Salutations to God, all the gurus. Welcome you all, wonderful people. It is very happy, heartening to see those who are sincerely, regularly coming are also trying to understand the mantra shlokas, not only literally but also deeply. So, if that jignasu is born in us, and if that sadhaka has taken birth and roots in us, we made a great, grand, glorious beginning. And then we will pray that by no reason, even the flood like, earthquake like problems also come. By no reason, we give up this initiative. We give up this inquisitiveness. We give up this study of Shastra, which is slowly equipping us with the good, wonderful, celebratable, let us say, conviction. Be on that. So, having congratulated you all, let us continue the 19th chapter of 11th Skandha, Mukti Skandha. In this, Bhagavan is giving wonderful guidance once again about the sadhanas to be understood and practiced to get out of all bondages and all limitations. Shri Bhagavan Yo Vidya Shruta Sambannah Atmavan Nanumanikah मायामात्रमिदं ज्ञात्वा ज्ञानं च मयि सन्न्यसेत् ज्ञानिनस्त्वहमेवेष्टः स्वार्थो हेतुश्च सम्मतः स्वर्गश्चैवापवर्गश्च नान्योऽर्थो मद्रुते प्रियः ज्ञानविज्ञानसंसिद्धाः पदं श्रेष्ठं विदुर्मम ज्ञानी प्रियतमोतो मे ज्ञानेनासो बिभर्ति माम तपस्तेऽर्थं जपोदानं पवित्राणि च न अलम कुर्वन्ति ताम सिद्धिं या ज्ञानकलया कृता तस्मात् ज्ञानेन सहितं ज्ञात्वा स्वात्मानमुद्धव ज्ञानविज्ञानसम्पन्नः भज मां भक्तिभावितः ज्ञानविज्ञानयज्ञेन मामिष्ट्वात्मानमात्मनि सर्वयज्ञपतिं मां वै सद्धिं संसिद्धिं मनयोगमन् त्वय्युद्धवाश्रयति यस्त्रिविधो विकारः मायान्तरावतिदिनाद्यपवर्गयोर्यद जन्मादयोऽस्य यदमि तव तस्य किं स्युः आद्यन्तयोर्यदसतोऽस्ति तदेव मध्ये उद्धव उवाच ज्ञानं विशुद्धं विपुलं यथैतद् वैराग्यविज्ञानयुतं पुराणम् आख्याहि विश्वेश्वर विश्वमूर्ते त्वद्भक्तियोगं च महत् विमृग्यं तावत्रयेणाभिहतस्य घोरे सन्तप्यमानस्य भवाध्वनीशा पश्यामि नान्यत् शरणं तवाङ्घ्रि द्वन्द्वातपत्राद् अमृताभिवर्षात् दृष्टं जनं सम्पतितं विलेऽस्मिन् कालाहिन क्षुद्रसुखोरुतर्षं समुद्धरैनं कृपयापवर्ग्यैः वचोभिरासिञ्च महानुभाव श्रीभगवानुवाच इत्थमेतत् पुरा राजा भीष्मं दर्भभृतां वरम् अजातशत्रुः पप्रच्छ सर्वेषां नुशृण्वताम निवृत्ते भारते युद्धे सुहृन्निधनविह्वलः श्रुत्वा धर्मान् बहून् पश्चात् मोक्षधर्मान् पृच्छत तान् हन्तेऽभिधास्यामि देवव्रतमुखात् श्रुतान् ज्ञानवैराग्यविज्ञान श्रद्धा भक्त्युपबृंहितान् न वैकादश पञ्चत्रेण भावान् भूतेषु येन वै ईक्षेताथैकमप्येषु तज्ज्ञानं मम निश्चितम् एतदेव हि विज्ञानम् न तथैकेन येन यत् स्थित्युत्पत्त्यपयान् पश्येत भावानां त्रिगुणात्मनाम् आदावन्ते च मध्ये च सृज्यात् सृज्यं यदन्वियात् पुनस्तत्प्रतिसङ्क्रामे यच्चिष्येत तदेव ततो श्रुतिप्रत्यक्षमैतिह्यम् अनुमानं चतुष्टयम् प्रमाणेषु अनवस्थानात् विकल्पात् स विरज्यते कर्मणां परिणामित्वाद् आविरिञ्चादमङ्गलं विपश्चित् नश्वरं पश्येद् अदृष्टमपि दृष्टवत् भक्तियोगः पुरैवोक्तः प्रीयमाणाय तेन घा पुनश्च कथयिष्यामि मद्भक्तेः कारणं परम् श्रद्धामृतकथायां मे शश्वन्मदनुकीर्तनं परिनिष्ठा च पूजायां स्तुतिभिः स्तवनं मम आदरः परिचर्यायां सर्वाङ्गैरभिवन्दनं मद्भक्तपूजाभ्यधिका सर्वभूतेषु मन्मतिः मदर्थेष्वङ्गचेष्टा च वचसा मद्गुणेरणं मयि अर्पणं च मनसः सर्वकामविवर्जनम् मदर्थेऽर्थपरित्यागः भोगस्य च सुखस्य च इष्टं दत्तं हुतं जप्तं मदर्थं यद्व्रतं तपः एवं धर्मैर्मनुष्याणाम् उद्धवात्मनिवेदिनां मयि सञ्जायते भक्तिः कोऽन्योऽर्थोऽस्यावशिष्यते यदात्मन्यर्चितं चिदर्पितं चित्तं शान्तं सत्त्वोपबृंहितं धर्मं ज्ञानं सवैराग्यम् ऐश्वर्यं चाभिपद्यते यदर्पितं तद्विकल्पे इन्द्रियैः परिधावते रजस्वरं चासन्निष्टं चित्तं विद्धि विपर्ययम् धर्मो मद्भक्तिकृत् प्रोक्तः ज्ञानं चैकात्म्यदर्शनं गुणेष्वसङ्गो वैराग्यम् ऐश्वर्यं चाणिमादयः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीभागवत शरणं मम श्रीसद्गुरु शरणं मम श्रीसूत शरणं मम श्रीशुकदेव शरणं मम श्रीव्यास शरणं मम श्रीनारद शरणं मम श्रीकुमार शरणं मम श्रीब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्रीविष्णु शरणं मम श्रीपरब्रह्म शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्यन्यथः अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामामुञ्चदकर्हिचित् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अत एकोनविंशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच. Again saluting the Lord and entire Bhagavata Acharya Parampara. Here in this 11th Skandha, the Acharya of this entire Skandha is none other than the heart of this entire Bhagavata, that is directly the Krishnam Vande Jagadguru, Sakshat Sri Krishna Parabrahma Paramatma. Many places we have to use our logic to understand and practice. Although that is the safest side, but sometimes we must know who is speaking is the Guru, who is speaking is the Lord. They neither speak falsehood nor they say something to hurt or trouble us, create problems to us. They speak only to help us out. There were sometimes, just like on the face value, we get caught up in the world. Sometimes on the strength of Shraddha also, we can involve and help ourselves. In this particular skandha, every chapter, especially in the 19th chapter, in the first 6-7 shlokas, Bhagavan Krishna, when he is telling these two things, the glory of Jnanam and the glory of the Jnani, to such an extent that the Jnani ataha me priyatamaha. So we can have faith in that and then slowly get strengthened in ourselves that we also will become the Jnanis. Which Jnani? The Tattva Jnani, the Atma Jnani, the Brahma Jnani, the Sadvastu Jnani. That's how we have to awaken in us or enliven in us or give birth to in us this type of Jignasu or Sadhaka or Mumukshu. And to him we have to go on watering till he becomes so gigantic that other than pursuing that mukti through jnana, no other thing we are involved in. How much ever tempting it may appear, important it may appear, none of those things, I only do this. That in technical Vedantic Upanishadic Bhasha, it is called as Sarva Eshanayabhyaha Muktaha Bhaikshacharyaam Charanti. Uttayata Bhaikshacharyaam Charanti, they say. So let us intensify this jignasu in us. Now, because of the intellectual lethargy, which we generally don't use the intellect even in the world to sort out problems or achieve successes, same intellectual lethargy here also doesn't allow us deeply to study Shastra and find logically how the truth is being expounded by the great gurus and masters. So, to awaken that jignasu in us, we have to awaken the sleeping intellect also in us. Then only we will be able to enter into and do it. So, on the strength of Shraddha in Bhagavan, as well as our own inquisitiveness, invoking our own intellectual power, let us see Lord why He is saying what He is saying, all that. That's how we proceed ahead. Now here, Jnana Mahima, Jnani Mahima, Bhagavan has given us in the 5 shlokas. The 5th shloka, comparing it with Bhagavad Gita's essence, some places we tried to explain yesterday. What is that? Jnanena Sahitam. Here the Jnana is all those intellectually convinced way of lifestyle of values by which we become pure in our heart, subtle in our heart, dynamic and energetic in our heart, which is required for our further study. Then Jnanena Sahitam, Jnatva Swa Atmanam Uddhava. There the Atma Jnana is theoretical Jnana. In this way, Jnana Vijnana Sampannaha. Theoretical knowledge, in between, qualification, that is Jnana. Then in between the Jnatva, that is a theoretical. See, first the qualification, then theory practice, and the experience. These are the 4 things Bhagavan is saying. Quite qualify. then understand the theory, and then keep practicing it, experience. That's called as Jnana Vijnana Sampannaha. Then what do you do after you become rich in your Jnana of Shastras and all, Vijnana of practice and experience? What do you spend your time in after that? Bhajamam Bhakti Bhavita. Then you do the bhajan of me only with full bhakti. And which me you will do bhajana here? All Bhagwan. In what way the Bhagwan now? Tattva Rupena Bhagwan is there. Ishvara Rupena Bhagwan is there. Shastra Rupena Bhagwan is there. Shastra Ukta Tattva Jnana Rupena Bhagwan is there. Then in the Shastra what Bhagwan gave as sadhana Swara qualification, that also Bhagavad Swarupa. So you do seva to all these things. By inculcating these things in whoever are around you or want it from you, or you can do to your own possibility level. So that's what the meaning of bhajamam bhakti bhavitaha. So here mam means all these things. The qualification of amanitvam adamitvam, then neyam yatyat pravakshami, the theoretical knowledge, then the meditation on that and the experience, and all that happens in the Shastra, and then all of that is possible only that Ishvara who is there, when he blesses, then only it will come. So in this way, Mera Bhajan is all that. In doing service to all of them, that way you can take it as Bhajamam Bhakti Bhavitaha. Same thing now is summarizing in this sixth shloka. Very wonderful. Each of these shlokas, when we spend time, give time, use our intellect and try to analyze and catch it. उसके लिए एक तरह का इच्छा होना चाहिए, चाहत होना चाहिए शास्त्र के सारे पहलुओं को समझने के लिए. ओके, फिर ज्ञान विज्ञान यज्ञेन माम इष्ट्वा आत्मानम आत्मनि सर्वयज्ञपतिं मां वै संसिद्धिं मुनयो अगमन्. तो मुनयः संसिद्धिं अगमन्. The lot of great sages, saints, munis have achieved the ultimate samsiddhi. We told you, siddhi means any of the success. That includes at the highest level reaching to Bhagavan's loka. A little lower level is achieving all the 18 siddhis which are spoken in the Shastras, in this very Bhagavata. Siddhi also means doing great punya adi and going to Swarga and such Uttama lokas. Siddhi also means in this very world getting Kshema, Stairya, Dhairya, Virya, Vijaya, Abhaya, Ayur, Arogya. All of them are Siddhis. They all can be achieved by our efforts. When you include the devotion to the Lord, then it becomes easier. But there is something other than all this, that's called a samsiddhi. These all siddhis, if you continuously don't maintain, means put due effort for that, it will go away. They all have end, in fact. That is why the endless, eternally remaining siddhi is called as samsiddhi. So samsiddhim paramam gataha, samsiddhasya, these words come again and again in Upanishad and other Shastras also. So here samyak siddhi is reaching where we don't come back. And that is only in our true identity. Because to reach to that, we have to eliminate the ignorance. When you have eliminated the avidya, ignorance with vidya, and reached that, after vidya gained, again avidya will not come. If avidya is relapsing, means what? We have not got the vidya. Or what we got is not vidya, it is a part of avidya only, termed or named as avidya. That's why all that is called as aparavidya or avidya in our Upanishads. Here paravidya se milne wala atmanubhuti is called as samsiddhi. So samsiddhim munayaha agaman. So this should remove all the doubts in us that can we experience that self having gained, which we again don't come back to the jiva dehadi tadatma sthai. That prashna should go away, because Bhagavan himself says many munis have achieved that samsiddhi. Immediately the next question after that faith is how? What is the sadhana done? Which is explained in the earlier 5-6 slokas, in the earlier skandhas, everywhere. Now here Bhagavan is putting in a few words, summarizing. He's just giving us the essence of that. What is that essence of Jnana Vijnana Yajnena? Now in this sentence of Jnana Vijnana Yajnena, it is instrumental. Bhagavan is putting so many things. Now, all those exhaustive details we may not work out, but three things we must catch. One is jnana. Be thorough in Siddhantika jnana. Then vijnana means that Siddhantika jnana, to experience it, definitely there will be sadhanas. These two called as jnana and vijnana, which were already seen in the earlier shlokas also. Here, one more word which already said again, he added it with these two words, is called yagnena. So here the yagna we have to understand in two ways. One is, like in any yagna, you do the ahutis. Therefore, in the jnana yagna, you do the ahuti of the ajna. Theoretical ajnana is dissolved in the theoretical jnana yagna. So too, with the theoretical practice called as vijnana, the wrong practices which we had earlier, uska hame yagna ahuti dalna hai. In the yagna we do the ahuti, swahakara. If that swaha and then ahuti arpana is not there, you can never call it as yagna. So too, jnana vijnana yagna means in the jnana yagna, the ajnanaka ahuti. The information knowledge should see that non-information ignorance is offered as oblation. So to the vijnana, through the practice of what information we got, the non-practice or the opposite practice which we were earlier doing, we have to do the swahakara of it. Without that, the result will not come. सिद्धांत ज्ञान नहीं है तो कन्विक्शन नहीं होगा, साधना का अभ्यास नहीं होगा तो अनुभव नहीं होगा, अनुभव से ही मुक्ति होगी, बिना अनुभव का मुक्ति नहीं होगा. This is one meaning of yajna, swahakara. Second meaning of is what? It is jnana vijnana prapti. You have to do it in a yajna bhavana. In those days of Kruta, Treta and Dwapara Yuga, there's so many things, although done by the praja, so too by the king. There's so many things. He may invade other kingdoms. He may create new and newer ideas for the development of the Rajya. He may provide greater facilities to the praja. All of them, so many were done. But what is highly regarded in any of the king's kingdom, in those days of Hinduism, when we were not invaded by these Rakshasas, was the yajna only. कोई राजा को यज्ञ से बढ़कर और दूसरा कोई कर्म का दृष्टि नहीं होता था. That's so in Treta Yuga, whoever the rajas were there, not only Bhagavan Rama, before that from the Ikshvaku onwards, so many Vamshas were there, so many rajas, all of them were fully involved in yajna. So the highest occupation at an individual level as well as total level is the yajna karma. And that yajna, though it is an action of oblation offering to the gods through the fire, but in that yajna is a spirit, wherein we give up I and mine, all my earlier priorities, earlier habits, earlier doings, for the time being, and fully, totally, we involve in that particular newly taken up activity called as yajna. Like when Gurudev used to come to our city for the yajna, that is jnana yajna, many of us used to give up all our naukri, college, school, jo bhi tha, these 7 days around Gurudev only. Then other friends circle, that is given up. Any other obligations or duties, even at home, we used to tell, these 7-8 days, please don't give me any work, because Gurudev has come to town, we'll have to go there. So what has happened there? A special zeal and inspiration has come, because of which we have taken up this activity at the cost of all others. That is inner spirit that cannot be shown, that should be felt from within. So that's what Bhagavan is invoking or telling here in the bhavana of the yajna, where you are ready for giving up all your earlier habits or notions, your earlier convictions, whatever you are doing, you give them up for the practice of jnana and yajna. That is called as, jnana and vijnana, that is called as yajna bhavana. तो यज्ञ में जैसे आहुतियां डालते हैं वैसा अज्ञान का भी, नॉन प्रैक्टिस का भी आहुति भी करो, एंड डू दैट विद यज्ञ ऑफ स्पिरिट. Take it as a yajna. And in every yajna, there's such a full faith in the Adhisthana Devata to whom we are offering oblations that he will appear, and he will appear or not, depending on our depth of sadhana, he will definitely receive these ahutis and definitely will bless us. Those days, yajna means hoga, karenge to hoega hi. That is why if you observe in all our Puranic literature, many a times when the devatas were doing yajna or manushas, Rakshasas might have disturbed it. Many a time when the Rakshasas were doing yajna, devatas might have been disturbing them. But then, wherever the yajnas were done without being disturbed by anybody, every yajna gave the result. Can you show one yajna which was not resulted in? No failure. यज्ञ फल में कभी फेल्यूर नहीं हुआ, यज्ञ कंडक्ट में हुआ होगा. Like Daksha Prajapati's yajna, all the Veerabhadradi sent by Bhagavan Shiva did the Dhamsa. But later on he realized he put that head of a bakri and ये सब तो हो गया. But no, so too Ram Dharma did yajnas. So all yajnas were successful in yielding the result. Dasharatha did yajna, that gave result. Every yajna was definitely successful only. That faith was there, the performance was like that, therefore the result came. So all that spirit, all that feeling you invoke when you are doing the jnana, theoretical knowledge gaining, vijnana, practice of it. So jnana, vijnana, yajnena. And as we quoted yesterday also, Bhagavan, jnana yajnena tenaham ishtasyamiti. Then the fourth chapter he started it, 18th he concluded it that. What said in fourth chapter? These are all the yajnas, but they are all dravya yajna. But Shreyan dravyamayat yajna, jnana yajna parantapa. Fourth chapter. And ending also, jnana yajnena. Ishta aham. Iti me matihin. So I am not pleased by any other yajna yaga more than the jnana yajna. That's how Puja Gurudev has taken up Upanishad jnana yajna, Gita jnana yajna. So here Bhagavan is adding one word, jnana, vijnana, yajna. Theoretical and practice. Do it in the yajna bhavana. In the first one we are doing these days from last couple of months or so, jnana yajna. He is reading all our shastras and trying to understand what is said. But again, noting them, the important points, what immediately can be done, so sorting out them, culling out them, then involving in them is called vijnana. That yajna also when we involve, which is seeking some cost, which is seeking our priorities, which is seeking as cost our own earlier habits, some sacrifices. We are still hesitant about it. We have still a lot of the obligations, some demands, some desires, some feelings of the duty, etc., as if they are important than even Paramatma. These are all the things there. By now you might have got them. I too got it. My bondage is giving satsang this to you as a duty. But this is also an obstruction. Before we reach the truth. Once you reach it, there is no other job. यही करना है बाद में भगवान ने कहा भी भजमाम भक्ति भाविता. So whatever those sacrifices that are required, if you are ready to do that, and then yajna, ज्ञान विज्ञान यज्ञ, विज्ञान का भी यज्ञ हम जब करते हैं. Excellent. The biggest problem, two problems. First is little lesser, second is bigger. The lesser small first problem is that ज्ञान पाने के लिए ही हम तैयार नहीं होते. Not only about Paramatma पाने के लिए ज्ञान, even the jnana regarding health. How many of us thoroughly studied anatomy, physiology of the human system? That's a jnana, how it functions and all. Even when we are taught in school, college, pass होने के लिए जितना था उतना ही गया. Even now at this age, all the systems we don't know. So first laziness is we are not interested in jnana. So to how much I have studied the Constitution of India, that I will practice my all duties, rights I will seek later on, but I will follow my dharmas. None of us, you understand? How many of us repeatedly studied all the rules, regulations below which we have signed in any of the signed paper? Whether it is joining the job, you have to take a bond, you have to sign, no? I am a government servant करके और 10 कितने लोगों ने पूरे पॉइंट्स पढ़ा. दैट्स अ ज्ञानम. How many times courier we received? We sign it and give, but how many times we studied what are the condition rules mentioned? You understand it? Jnana ka laziness theory. And more difficult for us it is becoming, we made it is to do the Vijnana of it. Even if we understand the anatomy physiology and also tentatively what makes me healthy, the food habits or the exercises and the rest or the activity, still at the time of Vijnana again we lose sight of it. Practice करने के time. Something tempts us. Sit in front of TV and cinema को देख ली तो all the time is gone, energy is gone, tiredness is gone. We say let us do tomorrow. These are the biggest two shatrus which we are only developing in us, not gaining the jnanam, not implementing it as vijnanam. Then how will the result come of any sort? So we have to discover that we are lagging behind in that. First equip in jnana, in the yajna spirit, then equip in vijnana also. And unless jnana theory is there, we can't do vijnana. But unless vijnana the practice is done, jnana is not going to help us. Is it not? Did we study what is the meaning of Desha Bhakti? Dharma Nirvahana. Theory thoroughly. Did we understand it? What is the the need and definition of values and what are the values? Siddhanta. How empty headed we are when these questions are asked. On the strength of memory, because repeatedly we listened, we may mention some values. But when they are detailedly asked about why they have to be practiced for individual and total benefit, and how they have to be practiced and what are the obstructions, हम सब चुप हो जाते हैं. Why I am saying all that? We should understand that we are at such a lowest ebb. Therefore, do the accumulation of the jnana with the yajna spirit. Then embark on the vijnana. Vijnana yajna. That is more tough and it seeks more challenging spirit. You plan for one day, you plan for a week, you plan for a fortnight, you plan for a month, and keep achieving in practice what theoretically convinced about. Vijnana yajna. Beautiful it is. Anything in general, particularly here, Vijnana yajna, the daily doing in such a way life that we become qualified for our meditation, and on the seat of meditation, we are consciously rejecting the anatma tadatmya and getting identified with our real self. This is called Vijnana yajna. Every day we have to do, with every day's effort, an inch we move towards. First in strongest conviction, and slowly that more with conviction we start doing, those glimpses of experience happen. Definitely will happen. When we do the practice Vijnana as Yajna, which we talked about meditation, everything else also. Vijnana Yajna is do the Rudravisheka for 41 days. Then Rudra Anugraha will remove these obstructions. Now Vijnana means, yeah, you get all the dravyam, you learn the way of doing it, you do yourself. If you have a good Brahmana who is not money minded, but who is Shraddhalu, catch hold of him. Hmm? Shraddhalu does it. I am here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. You have recognized me as Brahmana, gave a chance. What about Dakshina? And I believe you, you will give sufficiently. I don't demand. Aisa Brahmana. If such Brahmana comes, what otherwise other people expect, you give double. Then he'll be doing everywhere in that way. Then the value of Brahmanas, important Brahmana, their way of doing puja becomes divinized. That is also in our hands. You can't command Brahmana, but you can do from your side. If he really comes that way. If he demands, you see whatever exactly can be given, that much negotiate karke you give. Because I am seeing every type of people. So much of demanding that you can't get that puja done. And they also in need. We should recognize their need and take care. So these are all anyway not the same main topic. I'm talking about if you do the jnana that Rudra Abhishek have to do to get the result, then we jnana. In the same way, go to an ashram or any temple, anywhere, stay there for 10 days. and be in your own japa, be in your own swadhyaya, dhyana, to jnana. When you go there, do it. Go and do that with jnana. Best is at home only. Wherever you have security, less tensions, anxieties, worries, there involve in sadhana. Jnana, Vijnana, Yajnana has got such a load. All that we have to understand. Yajnana, then Mam Ishtva. And Bhagavan Ishtva means I explained yesterday, this is the way you really make me happy. मेरा यज्ञ स्वाहाकार आहुतियों से ज्यादा ज्ञान विज्ञान यज्ञ से होता है. No, I've explained this already 3-4 days back. Again, it's only repetition. All other dravya yajnas, when you do for me, the Lord says, I have to give you again dravya only as a result in turn of this sloka or that sloka. Then enjoying that, you will lose it because it is a कर्म से मिला हुआ है. एक बार उसका फल हो गया पुण्य, then you will be taken away or it ends there. Secondly, you will continue to be only depending on dravya, you will remain only as jiva with all your dravya yajnas. But when it is jnana vijnana yajna, in that you will recognize the real self. Thereafter, you never will be in the ignorance to demand any dravya. No, I want every jiva that way to realize my essential nature with them. Then you have achieved that. Therefore, naturally, though I love the people who do the Dravya Yajna and I bless them with whatever they want, but if you really ask me from my heart, I enjoy the Yajna of the Jnana done by the Jignasus. Therefore, my direct final point is I will be really worshipped in Yajna and I enjoy your worship of my Yajna in Jnana Vijnana only. So Jnana Vijnana Yajna means Jnana Yajna is the one which really pleases me. That's what Jnana Vijnana Yajnena Mam Ishtva. Mama Pujam Krutva. Ishtva means in the Yajna we do the Ishti of the Adhisthana Devata to whomever you are doing it. Of course, the ahutis are taken to him through the Agni Deva. He is called as Samvahaka. He takes all the things. Vahaka is called. So Jnana Vijnana Yajnena Mam Ishtva. So feel the sentence. Oh, I am the devotee of Rama, devotee of Krishna, devotee of Shiva. So all of them are now here in the roop of Krishna. So he says he likes my Jnana Yajna, Vijnana Yajna more than other Yajna. Therefore, let me slowly give more time, more importance to the Jnana Vijnana Yajna. This pleases the Lord more because the Lord himself said. Let me try studying Shastra more deeply, more detailedly. Let me also start living what is said in Shastra. This is how Bhagavan is pleased. That's called Mam Ishtva. And where am I? Whose worship you do through Jnana Yajna, Vijnana Yajna. So Atmanam Atmani. Mam Atmanam, Mam Atmani. Mam means me. Who am I? Atmanam. Ishtva mam atmanam. Who am I? Your own self. Atmani means first in your own self. So therefore, what has the Jnana Yajna here became? It is the closed eye internal meditation of that discovery of the Paramatma who is as Atma ourself. In the effort of discovering Atma through contemplation, whatever the Anatma is there, we are doing Swaha of that there. That you do with Vicharana. By vicharana, you segregate Atma Anatma and discard the Anatma. Another way is what? Don't worry about Anatma only because ultimately it is not there. What is Atma? You only search for that. In the search for Atma, two things will happen. Anatma gets dissolved and Atma is revealed. Because nothing called as Anatma. The not knowing of Atma made it appear as Anatma. Therefore, either do the Atma Anatma Vishleshana and identify the Atma and drop Anatma. Or just pursue what is the true real self in me. It's already said, Sat, Chit and Ananda. In that case also, as you are nearing to the Atma Vastu, you will just see the Anatma getting dissolved because it is not real. Samvritya jayate sarvam jayate tena nasti vai. morning class today. Only in the samvritti sthiti that everything is assumed as born and changing and disappearing. No, like means what was the morning class essence? It is because of the Atma, Jnana, that as if the creation is imagined, because the absence of Atma Jnana, the creation is as if imagined and continued. And when the Atma Jnana gained, then the creation dissolved. This is how I explain everybody. Their creation and creation dissolution is only from the Ajnana standpoint. In the pure Atma, there is no disappearance or the forgetfulness of the Atma, there is no chance of creation of the Anatma. That's what the morning deep class. So here also, Bhagavan says, Atmanam Atmani. Every word is important. So Mam Atmanam Atmani Jnana Vijnana Jnana Ishtva. Means I am there in your own heart as your own self. To that your own self, which is my own self, you do the Ishti or the Yajna by the Jnana Vijnana Yajna. So in that what are you doing? In your own deep cave of the heart, in your contemplation, you are reaching to that self which you cannot objectify. And anything objectifiable is should be understood as an Atma that has to be rejected. What is rejection? Neti neti. And then one thought I have to share here. Neti neti is the effort. Then that final neti neti, when it is over, you cannot even say what remained is me because you alone is remain there. You will remain there. That is only experience. This is anatma, I am rejecting, 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 you can do. But this is atma, I am identifying, you cannot do. Because you will become that. Then when you become it, you cannot objectify it, no? Subject cannot be the object of itself. So to the object cannot be subject. Nahi drashto drushte viparlopa vidyate. Then druk drushya. Drushya cannot be the drashta or drukka, and drukka or drashta cannot become the drushya. This is the rule. I'm just telling, keep a thought hitter. When that stage of experience comes, till the last moment, still there is a doubt only. Will I experience the self or not? The moment when with faith we hold on to that rejection of the anatma by neti neti, suddenly the overpowering experience of the atma happens. Thereafter, not only the doubts dispel, all questions go away. You will say, yeah, now I experience it is me. Like when I experienced stomach ache, so much pain. So I suffered. I took different tablets given. I took rest. Then after a day's waking up, I saw that the stomach ache is gone. It is my own experience, no? अब कैसा है डॉक्टर फोन करते हैं तो you tell them more than your medicine, your bill worked, sir. I became okay. Is it not? In the same way, that experience will be coming. There's no doubt about it. And that experience so sublime, somebody cannot say also कि मैं ज्ञानी बन गया हूँ, मुझे आत्मा मिल गया. He will in his own loneliness, aloneness, he will revel in that. Somebody will take a shooting of it, recording of it, and they write it. कि वो आत्मज्ञान में ऐसा गाना गाया करके. वो किसी को बताता नहीं, कोई है नहीं बताने को. The Anubhava through the common equipments of mouth and mind will express as poetry. Like Manobuddhyahankara Chittaninaham Nacha Shrotra Jitve Nacha Grana Netre Nacha Vyoma Bhume Nate Vayo Chidananda Rupa Shivam Shivam is a soliloquy. He is in his own experience. When he was just in that experience, the mouth got activated and he has got Sanskrit Bhasha and is a great Pandita. That's the shloka came. Somebody noted it. Or he might have himself noted later on. But it is an anubhuti. What I am trying to say is, it is an anubhuti inexplicable. But it will be coming. It definitely comes. So, jnana vijnana jnana ishva swatmanam atmani. Then, who am I? Whose yajna you have done? Sarva yajna patim mam vai. No, this is again each of the words. Sarva yajna patim mam vai means what? So many yajnas are there, dravya yajnas, and this contrast with jnana yajna. In dono yajnों का पति मैं ही हूँ. Pati means what? The one who gave this paddhati of yajna, the one who has given all the material required for doing this yajna. If it is a Dravya Yajna, the Dravyas required for this Yajna. In the Jnana Yajna, the Dravyas required for the Jnana are the Shastra, the Guru's Upadesha, and to listen to that your ears, to contemplate your own mind intellect. These are all the Jnana Yajna के लिए उपयोगी सारे इंस्ट्रूमेंट ये सब देने वाला मैं ही. Then once you do the Dravya Yajna, the result giver is me only. तो ज्ञान यज्ञ में भी रिजल्ट मैं ही देता हूं. इसलिए सर्व यज्ञपति मीन्स ऑल यज्ञस in that the doings and the required things, all of them are given by me, including the result. Therefore, Sarva Yagnapati मैं हूं. It is Atma Drushti se. Here Krishna, when he is saying such sentences, he is not saying from Krishna standpoint. He is saying from the Parabrahma Paramatma standpoint. He is Yajno, Yagnapati Yajva, Yajnango, Yagnavahana, Yagnavrat. So, Sarva Yagnapati Mam Vai Samsiddhim Munayogaman. So that attaching that experience of me as Sarva Yagnapati, so many munis have achieved through Jnana Vijnana Yajna. So give now more importance in your life to this Jnana Vijnana Yajna Yukta worship and propitiation of Lord. These are the things which inspire great saints like Vivekananda or Gurudev, after which they don't talk about any Dravya Yajnas much. Once in a while they just do, but most of the time their life is only in educating all of us in Jnana Vijnana Yajna. With that, the Samsiddhi Muneha Gaman already said, the ultimate achievement, they got it. So this removes all the doubts regarding whether such self is there. Can one realize it? After realizing that, will there be mukti? Now all the doubts will go away because Bhagavan firmly saying theoretically and giving the example of so many munis. He has not mentioned the names of them, but need not. Every muni has done Jnana Vijnana Yajna and he has worshipped the Lord. And that Jnana Vijnana Yajna, here the Lord worshipped is Atmadeva. That Atmadeva blessed Sarva Yagnapati, and that person got some siddhi. Some siddhi is experience of one without second self. That is how you also try it. That is ultimate. Only there your entire journey concludes. You get the true Vishranti there, true Shanti. Without that, how much ever you do other sadhanas and reach other even lokas also, none of them will give the Shanti. Bhagavan will tell us that in the shloka number 18th number also, and somewhere also he says this point. We are going to see that. Avirincha इसी में 18वें श्लोक में कहते हैं. Now in this way, what we have to catch is Jnana Mahima, Vijnana Mahima, Jnani Mahima. Jnana is Siddhanta Jnana of the Tattva, Vijnana is a practice and experience. Once the experience done, is a Jnani, is a Mukta Purusha. यही सबसे महान है, भगवान इसकी महिमा कर रहे हैं. So we have to become convinced about it. Now he is directly addressing to Uddhava. And this shloka, which is in big lines for 7th one, through Uddhavji is addressing all of us. And here, Bhagavan is trying to cut asunder all emotions, all obligational bindings which we have. Here in case of Uddhava, even to himself called Krishna. And he is cutting the unnecessary lock or bondage of every samsaric way of our life. It's a very important big shloka, very difficult to understand or digest, more difficult is even to practice. But then that's how we have to. And this is what the Mandukya Upanishad we were seeing yesterday, day before, so many times, where we spoke about Adavante cha Yannasti. This will come here again after 10 or 5-6 shlokas after also it will come. So in this, what is in nutshell said is what? In you the pure self. None of these are there. If at all they are sin, they are not in yourself, but they are because of the Maya. Now when Maya is doing all this natak, why do you get bound by it? You need not get bound by it. Better you don't get bound by it. That is what Bhagavan's advice as an essence of this life, this particular shloka. and develop that attitude of detachment. And this can be explained in 100 ways, taking the quotation of various shlokas of various Gita, Upanishad, etc. Many, many quotations we can take. कायेन मनसा बुद्ध्या योगिना कर संगति आत्मसिद्धये or naham karoti manyu karoti or naham karoti kama karoti. All these shlokas of Vedas, all of that give this practice only. So that's what in that the kartrutva bhava is being rejected. I am not the doer. The jiva is me doer. I am not the doer. The maya is the one which is making it happen. So then so too, I don't need it. The result, I offer it to the Lord. First, we offer the result of all sukha, bhoga, ananda. Thereafter, all the dukkha also we offer. Then we offer every phala. Then we offer every karma. Then we offer every kartrutva. In short, the kartrutva, karma, karma, phala, all are offered. What do I mean offering? No more they are me. So I am neither karta, nor have any karma phala adhikara or insistence, nor I am bhokta of the karma phala. You that way alienate yourself, detach yourself from the entire drama. Like when you are in dream, I am the dreamer, full of the dream experience as if I am only going through. When you wake up and remember that dream, how do we feel? That's what the essence of this shloka. That none of them are real, and in me they are not there, and they just appeared in my forgetfulness of I am being the waker. That forgetfulness of I am being the waker is called a Maya. Because of that, the dream appeared. And when we are going through dream, that time only if you can say that, it is called as sadhana. Then you wake up. In the dream, such education, such teacher, guru are not there. But with the help of the example of the dream, in the waking plane, Guru can explain to us. Listening to those explanations of Guru, again we ourselves taking the example of the dream, we should be able to reject this waking also as the dream, then we awaken to the self. This special help is there in the Jagrata Avastha. Both helps of all Shastras available, Guru available, they are not available in the dream. Therefore, dream you have to go through only. In dream, by some accidental experience, we wake up. But no Guru comes and teaches there that you are a Jagrat Purusha. Unless you became the dreamer, you are suffering. This is not your Sarupa. The Jagat is not real. All of them are imposed on you. Nobody tells there. But some experience of dream wakes us up. In waking to the realization, that will not be possible because we have kartrutva here fully. Because we have kartrutva, we have to do sadhana, karma, and that can be done with both the example of this dream we take and collect all the data and the guidance of the Guru through Shastra or Shastra through Guru, we get it and we consciously put effort. Finally, it's a conscious effort at every moment to reject both my Jiva Bhava along with all those activities which strengthen my Jiva Bhava and consciously putting effort to identify with Sachidananda Atmavastu. That's all. That's what's called meditation. In Dhyanam, in the Adhyatmic Vedanta Dhyanam, this is what is done. It's called Nidhi Dhyasana. Okay. Now what is the shloka? See, Tvayi Uddhava Ashrayati Yaha Trividaha Vikaraha Maya Antara Patati Apatati Na Adi Apavargayoho Yatu Janmadayaha Asya Yat Ami Tava Tasya Kimnuhu Kimsyuhu Adi Antayoho Yat Asataha Asti Tadeva Madhye. See the entire Mandukya, 6th shloka of Advaita Prakaranam. What a great teaching it is. Not easy. Not easy to believe. And if you discuss this with others, they will also pull you away from his Vedantic class. What that Swami says, all murkhata, all jhut hai. No, if you go there, first jaoge. Already फंसे हो बाबा, वो फंसा से मुक्त हो जाओगे इधर आओगे तो. So, hey Uddhava, Bhagavan is addressing. Hey Uddhava, Tvai Ashrayati. In you, the real self is supported. Means your real self in you is supporting these three in you. Your real self in you is supporting these three in you. So Tvai Ashrayati Uddhava Trividaha. What is that? Vikaraha. Vikara is Vikruti. Vikruti always is a Prakriti. And what are the three Vikara? The Deha, Mana, Buddhi. देह में इंद्रिय आप डाल दो. सो देह मन बुद्धि विकार is विकारा, because all these जड़ पदार्थ है, ऐसा प्रकृति का ही विकृति है. तो ही आश्रयति means what? They are supported by you, the other than these three. So जागृत स्वप्न सुषुप्ति पुरुष. Okay, Vishwata is a prajna. Is he not supported by Turiya Atma? And Turiya is me really. So me, the Turiyal me, Turiya Atma, is supporting these three, the unreal. Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti. These are Trivido Vikara. So here we can take Jagrada as Sattva Guna, Deha Tadatmya, Swapna is Rajoguna, their Arthakarana or Sukshma Sharira Tadatmya, and Sushupti is the Karana Sharira Tadatmya. Yeah, Avidya, Ajnana, whatever you call. So Tvaya Ashrayati, Trividaha Vikaraha. So these three are the Vikara of the Prakriti. They are supported by you. You are not depending on them is the main point. They are supported by you. They are, if you are not there, they are not there. But you can be without them. And you have to be. That's what you have to do as sadhana. So further I am telling you a theory. What you are thinking so far, you are one of these three vikara. With the identity of one of these three, you are living in one or the other plane. As one or the other of these three, Vishwata is Prajna, put together is Jiva. In this in this busyness of yours, you have forgotten your real self, which is actually the support of these three. Very interesting analysis. Bhagavan is telling you are the Ashraya, they are the Ashrita. You are none of them, neither you have identity with them. So, by saying on you they are depending, our identity with them is pulled back, and also our identity with the Ashraya Tattva is being enhanced. I am explaining first line only. He Uddhava, Tvai Ashrayati Trividaha Vikaraha. Tvai Uddhava Ashrayati Yaha Trividaha Vikaraha. First to understand it. The pure conscious self is in me. On the basis of that only, the three vikaras are there. The Sthula Sukshma Karana. Deha, Antakarana, as well as the Vasanamaya Kosha. That I is the pure conscious self. That's why in the Jagrata Avastha, with the identity of Deha, whatever is done from morning waking up till we sleep, I am conscious of. Therefore, consciousness के ऊपर ही आश्रित है वो. Conscious self is the आश्रय. From the time of dream starting till the end of the dream, entire dream I am conscious of. Therefore, on me the conscious self only, the dream also ashrita, I the conscious self is ashraya. So to the nidra, from the beginning of nidra till the end of the nidra, I am conscious. That is why I say those two things. That there was nothing, but I was happy. If that conscious self is not there, then who will become aware of it? Which has become a smriti and being explained through the mouth when somebody asked, how was the sleep? What we say when we wake up, when somebody asks about how was the sleep, is a factual experience. You say, I don't know, because you don't know there. But I have experienced the bliss. Aham kimapi na janami sukhena maya nidra anubhuyate. How do you say, boss? I am conscious. Therefore, all these planes are depending on you, the conscious self. This is called as Jnana Vijnana Yajna. First, this is Jnana Yajna. Therefore, who are you? You are the consciousness, Baba, not these three avasthas. They are depending on you. Now, how to reject them to establish in it? Because unless they are rejected, you can't establish it. The process of rejection, techniques of rejection, ideas of rejection are given. This is called Vijnana, which you have to practice. What is that? First, Maya. All these three Vikara is Maya. So what is Maya? Hundreds of definitions I will not tell, only one. That which is not there still appears is Maya. And that appearance is on something which is eternally there. And that Maya continues as long as what is there is not seen. Once that is seen, Maya with its all effects go away. Maya has two effects: covering the self and showing something other than the self. Understand that covering the self is called avaranam, then showing something other than the self is called vikshepa. Agrahana and anyatha grahana in our Mandukya Upanishad bhasha. So, like this snake rope example, very easy for us to understand. So, what is Maya? Covering the rope, the reality, and making us imagine or perceive the snake which was never there. So, that which is there is not seen, that which is not there is seen. This is called Maya. How did it do? It did the avarana, covering of the real self or the rope. And it did the vikshepa, the projection of the snake which is not there. How long the snake will continue? So long you don't discover rope. When you discover the rope, ignorance of rope has gone away, avaranam, then the imagined projected snake also goes away, vikshepa. Be clear about the example. That's called Maya. Therefore, the Trividha Vikara, which we said as Jagrasatma Shukti Avasthas, and the three Dehas or three Gunas, they're called Maya. They're all operational, functional in the ignorance of self. If you know the self, they go away. They're not their actual Maya. Then Antara Patatu. Antara Patat means in between it is staying there. In between what? In between the prior absence and posterior absence. That is what he says next one. Antara patate na adi apavargayo yat. In the adi it was not there. Adi is Paramatma there. Be careful, yeah. No, whether I don't know whether you have that subtle way of analyzing asking question or not. I only ask question on behalf of you and I will answer. Adi may what is it? ना आदि अपवर्गो यत मतलब जिसका आदि नहीं है आदि में ये नहीं है. The snake was not there in the adi. When from the snake started, it is anadi. But what is the adi of the snake? The rope. What is the rope? Rope is anadi. In the rope is the snake started, it never came. This puzzle you have to solve. In the rope, snake never started. Okay. And when the snake seeing has started by you, anadi, you can't say when. Only one thing you have to say, from the time where the ignorance of self started. But if the self can be ignorant about, it cannot be. That is what you have to sort out. That is where the crux of Vedanta. In simple words, anadi apavargayo yat means what? That was not there in the beginning, that will not be there at the end. Adau anteja yat nasti. Vartamane bhi tattata. At the level of mud, there is no pot. So adi mein pot is not there. When the pot is broken, when it becomes muddy, again that also pot is not there. So in the adi, pot is not there. In the anta, apavarga, pot is not there. In between, it is apatatu. Apatatu means appears only in the beginning. And there also, if you use logic and look into the pots, every nook and corner, what you find is only mud. It appears like the pot. Pot is nowhere there actually. So, in the pure self, these three vikaras are not there in the beginning. Now, when you recognize the self, definitely they'll go away. In between only apatatu. In between they are appearing at the stage of your ignorance. In the self they are never, in the adi they are not there is the thing which our Karikakara is struggling to prove with the entire Karikas. He is rejecting the Jatavada. He is talking about Ajatavada. Ajatavada means Parabrahma alone is there. The Jagat was never created. So in the adi only he was there. That is what the main point is holding on to and explaining to us in Advaita and Alata Shanti Prakarana. Those who are coming, they can catch. सो आदि में परमात्मा में जगत नहीं है, अंत में जब परमात्मा को जानते हो तो ये अपवर्ग नहीं है, त्रिविकार. In between apatat means in between it is appearing only. Now, add to this what our morning Karikakara said, then it completely completes the thought. In between it is there. How long it will continue? Why it is there? Because Maya or Samruti. How long it will continue? As long as you have the Avesha. Yavad hetu phalavesha, tavad hetu phalodbhava. Means what? This in between imagined world of Triputi of the Stula Sukara Sharira, we attend to, will continue eternally if you attend to it. It will give value to it, if you give importance to it. And value is given both as good and as well as bad. Neither say it is good nor say it as bad. You say, I am a Sakshi of it. And you continue to remain a Sakshi, one day, slowly it goes away. Then Sakshi is Chaitanya Swarupa, and that Chaitanya Swarupa is me. So Maya, Antara Apatat, Adi Antayoho, Adi Apavargayoho Yat. आपतति न आदि अपवर्गयो हो यत, जो शुरू में नहीं था, बाद में नहीं था, बीच में दिख रहा है. That is called Maya. What's Maya? Which is not there in the original, not will be there later on when the knowledge comes. In between which appears is Maya. Entire Jagat was never in Brahma. When you discover Brahma, it will disappear. In between only it's appearing. Then the third line is more important. Okay? Janmadaya asya. Yad ami janma adaya asya. If of this in between jagat, if there is janma, then growth, then development, then vikara, then it is dying. Oh, उसमें होने दो. तव तस्य किम स्युः, तस्य तव किम स्युः. This is what is the most difficult but most important thing as a spiritual seeker we have to catch. Till this point is caught, the true meditation or true detaching from samsara will never be done, never be experienced. Only one word, tava kim syuhu. What is tava kim syuhu? तुम्हें क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? तुम क्यों वैल्यू दे रहे हो? तुम क्यों उसमें इन्वॉल्व हो रहे हो? तुम क्यों सफर हो रहे हो? तुम्हारा क्या है? You remain aloof, non-attached to it. That which was never there in the past will never be in the future. In between, variety of vikaras are happening in that. तुम क्यों फंसते हो उसमें? छोड़ो. The moment you stop फंसना उसमें, it will disappear. Like whenever, as long as the audience are there, the people will play that नाटक or singing. जब सब चले गए, तो फिर क्यों करेंगे वो नाटक? Is it not? In the same way, the Maya will do its natak as long as you are giving it value, like a child. Does all naughty things, you value him. You know, another अंदाज करो उसको, वो कुछ नहीं कर. He'll try to attract your natak, your attention. If you don't attend, then नीचे गिराए मारो, मन मानो. Then you attend to him, beta, he will cry such a big way. And the intelligent when the child falls, not a big damage, छोड़ थोड़ा, you don't look at him. वो भी उठ के कोई देख नहीं रहा है करके ही will करके उठ जाएगा. You can see that child. He falls, he gets the chota, but he will not cry. He will hold on to it. If nobody is there for him to see, he will just forget in 2-3 minutes. But suddenly the sound sunkar, mother, brother, somebody comes, he just pours out all that cry. Have you seen it? No? Then become child and do it once. In the same way, if you don't practice, तवा किम स्युहु, so what? Why it's फर्क पड़ता है आपको? अब क्यों इसको इम्पोर्टेंस दे रहे हो? तुम्हारा नहीं है वो माया में बीच में अपियर हो रहा है, उससे तुम्हारा कोई संबंध ही नहीं है. So don't get identified with appearances. Everything is appearance. If you attend the appearance, it keeps on appearing. If you don't attend to the appearance, it disappears. It's true. Every thought in the mind, when you give importance, it gives appearance. When you start devaluing that, it disappears. This is the only technique by which all the thought modifications of kama, krodha, adi, you can eliminate and quieten the mind. In the quieten the mind, behind the mind, what is there? The conscious self that we can discover by transcending the mind. So, janmadaya asya. इन सब का जन्म चेंजेस जन्म जरा अस्ति जायते वर्धते विवर्णमते इत्यादि विकारास इफ दे आर हैपनिंग इन दैट अमी जन्मादय अस्य अमी जन्मादय अस्य ऑल द जन्मादि विकार बिलोंग टू दिस तव किम स्युः तस्य मीन्स उससे तव किम स्युः तुम्हें क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है देन द लास्ट लाइन इज अ पक्का अवर मांडुक्य उपनिषद आदि अंतयोः यत् असतः आदि अंत यत् असतः अस्ति तदेव मध्ये that which was not there in the beginning and the end in between also is not there but appearing only आदौ अन्ते च नास्ति वर्तमाने भी न अस्ति लेकिन appear होता है like gold was in the beginning lump of gold again gold will be there lump later on in between the appearance of the ornaments. Here, two aspects have to be accepted. Very important. Ornament was not there in the beginning, ornament was not there at the end. In between, it only appeared, therefore, it is not real. Point one. Second, gold was there in the beginning, gold is there in the end. Therefore, in between also, though you look at it as ornament, but it is gold only. That means Sat is always there and the Asat is never there. In between Sat and Sat, Mithya is there in between for some time. So the entire Jagat is, we are taking it as Sat now. From that you go to the level of Mithya, then you discover it is Asata because only Parabrahma always is there. The Jagat Asadvada we are studying in the Ajatavada of Mandukya. That is ultimate. But before that, even if we come to accept the Jagat as Mithya, only in the beginning it not there, end not there, in between only appearing, not real, then we get detached and we get freed from the influence of it. Freed from its influence to create the samsara and dukkha for us, and freed from its influence so that we will be able to focus on the real self. ध्यान से सुने इन बातों को. सो आदि अंतयोः यद् असतः अस्ति तदेव मध्ये. तो आदि अंत में जो है मध्य में भी वही है और आदि अंत में जो नहीं था वो मध्य में भी नहीं था. आदि अंत में क्या है? द सद्वस्तु. मध्य क्या है? सदोन्य. आदि अंत में क्या नहीं है? द मिथ्या जगत. तो मध्य में क्या नहीं है? मिथ्या जगत नहीं है लेकिन दिख रहा है. सो डोंट बी वरीड. सो दिस इज व्हाट द हाईएस्ट वेदांत टीचर्स अस. द वर्ल्ड विल डिसअपियर इफ यू डोंट अटेंड टू इट. If you keep on attending to it in both ways of punya or papa, good or bad, in any way you label it, you are caught up in it. कोई बंदे को आप शत्रु मानो या मित्र मानो आपके मन में आ जाएगा ना. That's how in our life of whatever age, lakhs of people you might have met, but all of them are in your not in your mind because them you have not taken either as shatru or mitra even little bit. And whoever are there in your mind, they are taken as either Shatru or Mitra or some Sambandha. आपने जोड़ा तो रह गए, नहीं जोड़ा तो चले गए. The funniest thing I tell you, even your most dearest wife or husband or children, 10 years you keep away, don't even call them. You will have made memories, but you will forget also. That is the power of dropping when you are detached. Your own classmates in the childhood. आप पकड़ के रखें. If you go on alumni and every year, you may know those fellows, but otherwise, and only those fellows who you are in touch with, you know. But बाकी सब गायब. They are not in your history book only. Diary में भी दिखते ही नहीं वो लोग. पहले भी नहीं थे वो. But in between they were there for those 1 or 2 years in the college. Last 10-15 years you are not in touch. उनको शक्ल भी नहीं पता होगा उनका. What I am saying is, our attending creates it. Our giving it value, that sustains it. Our devaluing slowly takes it away from us. When you don't attend it, it disappears. That is how the Jagat. That is how samsara. That is how the Bandha Moksha Nirvachana. When you value bandham, when you don't value the mukti. Now you can't be without valuing something. Therefore, instead of valuing it, value Paramatma. Something to value करना पड़ेगा. So you value the Lord, then this slowly recedes. Everybody, like a person, we are so much attached with some relativity. That did not come from birth. You have created that. You had a tendency or prarabdha, jo bhi kaho. But now, in the same person, constantly, consciously, deliberately, change the relativity. This person not this way related to me, but I am seeing Bhagwan in him. I am seeing Bhagwan in him. I am seeing Bhagwan. You do it for 10 years, that earlier will go away, you will start seeing Bhagwan only. That is why all the Vibhuti yogas are told. That is why Tameva Mata Pita Tameva. Tameva Mata has two meanings. You only, my father, mother, everything. Second is, in my mother and father, I am seeing you only, not them. I am seeing you in mother and father. So that mother and father relativity is going away. The absolute you I am seeing. That is required. Finally, whether you do it or not, no mother, father runs behind us in every life. Nor we go. कहाँ कौन थे हमारे? In earlier life also, I had my mother, father, I might have had my children. Where are they? ऊपर वाले नहीं नीचे वाले हैं. अबे fresh. Every time we are again fresh only to discover the self. But we create the fresh relativity and forget the absolute. And that we never realize. Any relativity we make is not real, it is relative. Therefore, Bhagavan will take away in the next life. सत्य था ही नहीं वो. Or I have not sent you for that at all. Anyway, that's a elongated topic. Meaning is, क्या आपको फर्क पड़ता है वो जन्माद है उसको होने दो. They were neither in the past nor in the future. In the between, they may be appearing. In the middle also, there is only appearance, not real. This way you keep on living your life when I live and go, basing on all this knowledge. There are only two things. The Atma Tattva ka Jnana, Vijnana, Yajna. But to be able to do that, you have to withdraw yourself from the Vyavahara which you are habitually involved in. So in the earlier 6 slokas, Bhagavan talked about the importance of Jnana, Vijnana, Mukti and Jnana Yajna. In the 7th sloka, the tentative question which Uddhava asks, but what about all the relativity? They are all not there in you. You have no relation with them. They depend on you. They are in between only appearing. So if you devalue them, they go away. This knowledge also Bhagavan is giving. Like when Uddhava goes to Badrinath, physically has gone to Badrinath, theoretically has got what is Jnana, what is Vijnana, Yajna, what is habits of being with all his family members, friends, relatives, and doing his own variety of duties, further becoming Karta. ये सब उनको बादर करते रहेंगे ना. How to get out of them? Unless you get out of them, you can't enter into Atma Jnana, Atma Chintana, Atma Darshan. For that Bhagavan said, ये तुम्हारा नहीं है, उनसे ज्यादा नाता मत रखो. No, Nakumat. If you involve, it becomes important. If you don't, like people staying in America, they are in India में थे इतने देशभक्त. But when they go there, stay 10, 15 years, they're so habituated green card, A card करके, they get that citizenship. And the government says, दोनों में एक ही रखना है, they give up Indian citizenship. Something like that. That's how it happens. No, you can't compel. In other way, if I tell you, if I am born in India in this life, doesn't mean I was in India only every life. पता नहीं कौन देश में हम जन्म लिए होंगे. Anywhere. So to in the next life. Depending on Prarabdha, I may be born in Madagascar. You have to come there. There's no guarantee where we will be born. कोई जरूरत नहीं. In which religion I will be born, I don't know. कुछ क्या है प्रारब्ध क्या पता किसको. But the insistence remains. If I am continuing as a Hindu insistingly, if I am born as some Hebrew next life, then I'll hold on to that only because the insistence continues. Just like Kamadi Vikara, anywhere you go, that Vikara goes with you. No, these are all higher things. अभी उसकी time नहीं है. Some other time we study them. So this much Bhagavan has given Mahima of Jnana, Mahima of Vijnana, and told us to do the Jnana Vijnana as Yajna, and that you do inside you, in which the anatma is dissolved, and you explain the atma, and that is me. And that is your real worship to me. I like it. Such way, many munis have propitiated me by discovering me in their self as the real self. You too do that. No, as regards all samsara is concerned, your involvements in the concerned, they were never in the past, never will be there in the real state of realization. In between, they are there because they have value importance. अब क्या फर्क पड़ा तुमको आने दो जाने दो छोड़ो. Is it not in this world? That's a beautiful technique ever available. What is that? Anybody you want to be attached to, by repeated contact, you can become. And anybody to be detached, you repeatedly don't contact, then that person goes away from your life. Very powerful. You don't contact, then gone. This is a big vara, the women use it mainly. Goes away. That is why the women are sent to in-laws. That they stay there. After slowly, if their commitment here grows on, then mother, father, they have devotion, love, thank you, everything. But then they need not get bound that. अब तब तक यह नया generation भी आ जाता है. They are so much attached here. And the parents also must realize, with parents they were there for 24 years. But यहाँ इनको 50 साल हो गए, अभी 26 साल यहाँ रहे, ये तो ज़्यादा हो गया ना. डिटैच होना चाहिए. Then all logics, मैंने पाला पोसा बड़ा किया, मेरे कोक में जन्म लिया. यार किसी के कोक नहीं तो पेप्सी में जन्म लेते हैं. How does it matter? Is it not? कोक से जन्म लिया, लेकिन उसके बाद खाना वाना ये सब बहुत सारे. You have to add everything. You should not hold on to only one thing all the time. You have to use all logics to get out. Anyway, the main point is how Bhagavan Krishna guided Uddhava. Now, Uddhava got enchanted by that. Now he's asking the question, please Bhagavan, as a summary, once more, can you summarize this jnana? And Bhagavan gives in Pancha Shlok only the jnana. And that we have seen many a times. Now the summary of it, in simple words, Bhagavan will tell. In that simple way only we see. Then we will enter into the 7, 8, 10 slokas about bhakti. Then 3, 4 slokas about the Yamani Yamadi. Then 7, 8 slokas about the 30 or 25 questions which Uddhavji asked for sadhana. Uska bhi hum देखेंगे. So आज का सारांश क्या हुआ? The Siddhanta Jnana of the Atma Vastu from the Guru through the Shastra, you get it. That's called Jnana Yajna. Then in that, if something to be done, do it. If some attitude to be changed, change. If some identity has to be changed, change. That is called Vijnana. Do both of them as Yajna. And what about the entire world? Both worlds. The world related to me, but world visualized me. In the related world, all my relatives, friends, and duties come. The unrelated world, in general, the world, the Samashti Srishti. जिसको देखकर कभी तरस आता है, जाकर कुछ करने को मन होता है, जिसको देखकर कभी कामना होता है कि जाकर पाने को होता है. All that world, it's only in between, comes and goes. You have to no need to relate to it. Like when you see YouTube, TV में आजकल everything you can see. When you see that, there's a temptation. Is it not? When you see, like you see what is Antarctica expedition, you will see such a beautiful things they will show you. Everything in now, if you go into YouTube and all, you can see everything of the world. I should not tell it much, otherwise मेरा class छोड़ के आप जाओगे. Every country and its beautiful places. Every forest, the beautiful places. Every creative human creations. All of that are available. You can see the earth from the top of the world. You can see submarines, how they work. You can see everything. और क्या क्या अब जब देखते हो तो आपको लगता है मैं भी वहां जाऊं. गोइंग टू ऑल स्नो माउंटेन्स इन हेलीकॉप्टर. आपको अच्छा लगता है, टेम्पटेशन होता है मेरे को, मैं भी कुछ करूं, एक जन्म में सफल करूंगा वो वहां जाकर के. If you're a non-Vedantin, you think about it and you go. If you go Vedanti, you will see first the fellow who has gone and did all the shooting of it. ये ब्रह्मज्ञान पाकर मुक्त हुआ क्या? नहीं हुआ. फिर क्या? He has taken all shooting of it. He has put it in YouTube and all. बट ही हिमसेल्फ हैज नॉट देन व्हाट, इस तरह से हमको समझकर उनको रिजेक्ट करना है. फ्राइटनिंग थिंग्स, टेम्पटिंग थिंग्स आर थिंग्स व्हिच सीक आवर अटेंशन और एफर्ट. एक लेवल पे, इज इट नॉट? बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ देम आर मिथ्या जगत ओनली. I give you the example of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi in this case. People were approaching him with all the anger when the entire nation is fighting for freedom. What are you लंगोटा पहन के यहाँ बैठे हो? आओ तुम भी कुछ करो. And tell your devotees to do it. He said, आंख बंद कर रात में सो जाते हो, ना दुनिया है, ना देश है, ना ब्रिटिशर्स है, ना बॉन्डेज है, ना मुक्ति है. पहले अपना अंदर का मुक्ति वाला करो. He told that. People were very angry with him. But now, don't we realize that after freedom we reached it? What have you done? Anything you do, it is another type of bondage only, no? Bondage to materialism, bondage to our own selfishness, are bound by the criminal mentality oriented people or whoever they were around. अब मुक्ति तो उन्होंने जो कहा वही है ना. And seeing today's nation, ask all the freedom fighters. What will they say? हमने बेकार में इन बेवकूफ के लिए अपनी जान न्यौछावर कर दिया. That's what they say. The real heroes whom we don't remember, only सुडो सुडो कुछ कुछ ऊपर दिखते हैं, उनको हम याद करते हैं. Some 10-20 names only we know, maybe 100. But only 100 people sacrificed or what? Millions. What I am saying is, those sentences. Keeping those bases in mind, we have to withdraw from anything. पाप पुण्य सब छोड़ना है, तभी परमात्मा में जाते हैं. पहले पाप छोड़ो, पुण्य में आ जाओ. पुण्य को भी साधना के लिए सब साइड में. Knowing the truth is the highest punya. That's how one has to slowly. Take Gurudev also. He was in the freedom fighting, but once he went to Himalayas, then after gaining the knowledge, did he again become and start a party? No, he started Vishwa Hindu Parishad for the different purpose of doing the Jagarana of the Hindus to Hindutva, which talks about the Vedas, Shastras, Tattva Chintana, Atma Jnana, and all lifestyle which is tuned to that. He did just start. Once it became political and he again withdrew, no? But he throughout life spoke only truth. Those should become pramana to us, to get that confidence and readiness to reject while we are doing Jnana Vijnana of the Atma, to reject anything else, everything else for that matter. So उद्धव जी को एक श्लोक में भगवान ये भी बताए. Then the remaining jnana, we will see what he answers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namo. Krishna Chandra Bhagavan की जय. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. धन्यवाद बाबा. अब देखो हिंदी में वाल्मीकि रामायण में आज इंद्रजित आएगा युद्ध में.